We asked, and you responded.
Hey, this is Saul Cummel from Pittsburgh. I just want to tell you guys, I really love Dead and Buried's Treasure Show. I love all the old monster movies. It really takes me back to when I was a kid, and now I'm able to tell my friends, you guys got to check this show out, and it'll bring back so many memories for you. Let me tell you, too, Calico Drake is hilarious. Although I tell you what, Jack really makes the show. He just busts Calico Drake every chance he gets, and I love it. Keep up the good work, guys. I will be shanghaied into your crew as long as the show is on. Thanks very much.
Hi, I wanted to call in and just tell you that I just absolutely love watching Dead and Buried Treasures. I watch it with my kids, and my kids just think the bird is awesome. And I myself love watching the ghosts and horror movies. It brings back a lot of memories. I used to watch those with my parents, and I just think the show is awesome, and we need more shows like that.
Hi, I just thought I'd call and tell you I am enjoying your monster movies. They're great. And also, I love Drake. Hope to see more of you. Bye.
There are no further messages.
Operators are standing by. Call now.
A pirate's life for me. A pirate's life for me. We pillage, we plunder, we rifle and loot. Drink up me, hearties, yo-ho. We kidnap and ravage and don't give a hoot. Drink up me, hearties, yo-ho. A pirate's life for me.
Avast, me hearties, an all-new Dead and Buried Treasures featuring Captain Calico Drake and the crew of the Swashbucklers Haunt is up next.
Alright, I'll do it. But I want a building named after me and no green M&Ms in my dressing room.
Where it's Halloween all year long.
Who is this? I?
2,
I'm Captain Calico Drake.
1.
Well, it's time you joined me, you lifeboat leeches. I can't be waiting here forever. And welcome once again to Dead and Buried Treasures. I, of course, am Calico Drake, captain of the Swashbucklers Haunt, the most feared ship on water. You have stumbled upon our freight network, an evil plan devised to slowly weaken the world and welcome a curse of classic monster movies that the current generation have never even heard of, and an older generation have only been aware of through tall tales and legend. You won't even see it coming. Sounds like murder hornets, right? And so, tonight, we present you with an Egyptian flair, a mummy movie in itself, as we present you with a true classic from our vault of horror, located on the island of dead and buried treasures. And for those of you who don't know what that is, you'll beg to never know.
Captain?
Because tonight's film is so scary that it will... What is it, Jack? I was on a real roll there.
I know! It was almost as if you were possessed!
What? What's happening? What's going on, Jack?
That's what I thought! I think you were possessed for a moment, Captain Drake.
No, nonsense! I wasn't possessed by any...
What do you have in your hand there, Captain?
It's the key from the movie The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. Apparently it, You know, Jack, I don't even remember retrieving this from the keel.
I thought so! Captain, you know those mummy movies are not to be tampered with! Look what that key did to you!
Aye. You aren't kidding, Jack. I'm not feeling quite myself. Yes, Professor Gurdy.
Captain, I was studying up on some of tonight's movie in my lab. I made some startling discoveries.
Aye. Almost as much fun as I've been having up here.
Well, in any case, I was wondering if I could accompany you to the island. Some of the research I've done has shown me that...
Say no more, Professor. I think I'll take you up on that.
Captain?
I said you can go. An afternoon on the beach might do you some good.
Hell yeah, it would. I'll pack. Tanning lotion, sunglasses, maybe work on my tan, a good book to read.
Just bring me back the movie for tonight, okay? And take Jack along with you.
You're not going?
I had an episode. And I think I won't be able to go. I need you to pick up the movie yourself and bring it back.
A day at the beach.
Excellent. I'll be... What the... Hello? Professor? Did she just ghost me?
She's just excited, Captain.
I'll ghost her. It's like I was on hold with Comcast. Whatever, just get back as soon as you can, and we'll need to start the movie. Strange thing, those mummies.
From here. I know this is your first time.
Got it.
And the island will show you which film it chooses, although I think it will be some type of mummy movie.
Got it. Miss me.
please begin?
Okay.
How goes it, Gurdy? Just checking in!
Well, this is actually kind of creepy. There are thousands of those treasure chests everywhere.
Well, often your chest chooses you.
I'll say it does.
Often the island chooses the movie for the night.
How does it do that?
You'll know.
You know, Jack, when I volunteered to go to the island, I was thinking more of the beachfront, you know, the ocean, warm water, grape juice, working on my tan.
Oh, well, there's none of that. Just tombs. And dark. And dust. With spider webs.
Great. Well, there's nothing that... Jack, I think the island just chose the movie.
Well, be careful opening that chest. Those mummy movies always have some type of trap attached.
Oh, there's no trap, just the movie. And I can see why the island chose this movie. This box is beautiful. It's all Egyptian. Do you know what the movie is tonight, Jack?
Well, the manifest did say that the movie is The Ghoul, with the legendary Boris Karloff.
Oh, sounds creepy. What's it about?
An Egyptologist returns from the dead to take revenge on those who have violated his tomb. This film was thought long lost, but tonight we've discovered a copy from 1933.
Oh, that was the year before he even did The Mummy. That should be a scary one for sure. You know, Jack, there's
Gurdy? Gurdy, is everything all right? Gurdy? Professor Gurdy? Gurdy? Gurdy, is everything all right?
men who are hoarding.
What? Professor Gurdy? Professor Gurdy, are you there?
Professor Gurdy.
What?
I mean, everything is fine.
It is?
Yes. Everything is fine, Jack. Just excited to see tonight's film. And I'm sure our viewers are as well.
Yes! Yes, this is usually the part of the show where everything hits the fan. Makes sense. Well, me hearties, let's get you to the movie. It's a creepy one.
We don't want to buy no lino, no nothing.
Mr. Dragore, please.
Oh, him.
No sound, please. After 2 years I find you. I want the eternal light.
You found me too late. It's no longer mine.
I can kill with this from the end of the room. No lies, please.
You cannot kill in England, Mahmoud. They get their murderers here and hang them.
I have not come alone. If I hang, there are others. The eternal light goes back to the tomb from which you stole it.
But I tell you, I have not got it.
Please, I am not a child.
I sold it.
To whom did you sell it?
To Professor Morland.
That robber of the dead. Has he sold it?
He did not buy to sell.
What then?
Like you, Mahmoud. She believes.
Believes? He believes that the eternal light will open for him the gates of paradise?
Even so. He gave the best part of his fortune for it. And very soon he will know whether or not he was right.
What do you mean?
Professor Morland is dying.
Then you think it will be buried with him?
I'm sure of it. We have only got to wait until he is dead.
Anubis. Opener of the way. What's that?
Well, what is it?
Good evening. I happen to be staying in the neighborhood, and hearing of your master's illness, I took the liberty of calling. How is he tonight?
He'll never see the morning.
He hasn't asked for anyone of my cloth.
Nor will he. He's set in his ways, and they're the ways of the heathen.
I know he won't see the rector, but though I'm a comparative stranger, I don't like to leave a man to die like that.
He'll die in his own fashion, as he has lived.
Still, sometimes at the end.
Not with him. He's stubborn and unbending, and will be so at the throne itself.
Well, I suppose I can be of no use then.
No manner of use.
Good night.
Asking for you. Where can I find Mr. Brown?
Wizard, come in or go out.
You'll have to go up soon if you want to see him again. Curious house, this.
Curious owner.
Yes, but I suppose a great Egyptologist can't be expected to be like other people.
Well, he'll be like a great many other people soon.
That's not a very sympathetic thing to say.
I'm not a sympathetic man. Want a drink?
That's, across the hall, isn't it?
I dare say.
Thanks.
$75,000. September 22nd, 1931. Daily Journal. The eternal light, mine at last.
What's he there?
I'm here.
Is the door shut?
It is.
No listeners?
None.
The curtains?
They are drawn.
Come nearer. This man, Broughton. Watch. Broughton.
You were always suspicious. Have you ever trusted a living soul?
Only fools. I trust you.
Better to trust in the spirit than in the flesh.
I put my trust in my own gods. And now, when I am dead, my funeral, you will bury me at dusk in the clothes I told you. You will place the figure of Anubis at the west of the inner chamber.
I will.
And on the night of the full moon, at the first hour, I will make my offering of the eternal light to Anubis, opener of the ways. If I have done well in his sight, those fingers will close over the jewel, and he will open to me the gates of immortality.
The hand of a heathen image will now come to life.
Ah, the bandage. The bandage. Look. This is the eternal light. It must rest in my hand.
A man will know find peace who robs his heirs.
Bandage my hand. The eternal light must lie with me in the tomb. You're afraid of me.
I'm afraid for you.
If this should leave me, then you'll have reason to fear. For when the full moon strikes the door of my tomb, I will come back. You hear? I will come back to kill. Bandage my hand.
Doctor!
Windows. Open. Oh.
It's all over. Make out a certificate. Heart failure. What was the idea of bandaging his hand like that?
I cannot say. He had many a queer fancy.
I'll be round in the morning to sign the certificate.
I'll no be leaving my master's side till his body is laid to rest.
Ah.
Where are you going?
To feed the lamp that is to burn inside.
It's all wrong.
It's a disgraceful devil.
Wait! You're leaving the key inside.
Aye, that was another of his queer fancies.
When your master died, Lang, I believe him to have been possessed of a jewel of great value. Do you know anything about it?
Nothing.
I advise you to be very careful, Lang.
I have a careful nature.
You may be putting yourself perilously near dishonesty.
I've seen men nearer.
You may regret this, Lang. I want you to stay here and watch that man with a club foot.
I'm not a detective, Mr. Broughton.
One more word from you, Davis, and you're out of work. I have reason to believe that he has stolen a valuable piece of property. He may make an effort to get rid of it. Watch him and telephone me at my office if he leaves the house.
Very good, sir.
Harlan. Miss Betty Harlan, 52 Langford Street. from Rapson.
10 shillings if you'll drive me to Yaxford Station in time to catch the 5 o'clock train.
I'll oblige you, Governor. I was going straight back as it was.
That's a very old carpet, Mr. Morland. I should be glad if you will not kick it to pieces.
I'm sorry. When I'm angry, I do kick.
Be good enough to explain that.
Yes, I intend to. By your own statement, Miss Holland and I are the sole heirs of Professor Morland. We were informed neither of his death nor of his funeral.
Your uncle died and was buried in a certain way according to his wishes, which need I go on? Almost his last words were a threat to return from the dead. In my opinion, he was mad.
Well, that may be so. But Miss Holland and I should have been consulted.
But I understood that you and Miss Holland were not on speaking terms.
Well, what of that? You expect quiet at a funeral, don't you?
Yes, I also expect it in my office.
I'm very sorry, but after all, this means a good deal to both of us. Uncle was worth about $4,000 a year.
Well, he isn't now.
What do you mean by that?
He spent a good deal, you know. It may surprise you to know that some time ago he drew a check for £75,000.
What for?
I don't know.
You don't know? You were in charge of all his affairs and you don't know?
That's what I said. And I advise you to look after the tone of your voice.
I'm not at all sure. I have much more important things to look after than the tone of my voice.
I don't follow you.
I'm going to run down to Owlsvale House tomorrow morning.
Yes, I don't think you realize the conditions that you'll find there.
No, that's why I propose to go.
You won't like it. You'll be most uncomfortable.
You don't advise me to go?
I think you'll be making a very big mistake.
Then I'll go. Oh, by the way, does Miss Harlan know anything about this will business?
No doubt she will have received a letter from me by now.
Do you know Miss Harlan?
No. I propose to give myself the pleasure of calling upon her this evening. Hello. Oh, it's you, Davis. Wait a minute. I have a visitor here, but I think he's just going.
Thank you very much. If you're going to see Miss Harlan tonight, I shall be there myself.
No doubt you will succeed in making a painful interview intolerable. Good afternoon.
Your manner must help your practice a great deal.
Now, Davis.
What a spectacular film, Jack. And Boris Karloff looks so young. You say this was his first film after he shot the mummy?
Actually, Captain, it was the year after, in 1933.
Huh. Talk about being typecast. Oh, and also, we welcome our newest sponsor, the Carnegie Science Center, and their Mummies of the World exhibit to our show. By the way, thank you for bringing the film back from the island, Jack. I'm feeling much better.
About that, Captain, I need to discuss something with you.
What is it?
Ever since we came back from the island, Professor Gurdy has been acting, different.
Different? Different how?
Well, I can't quite put my feathers on it, Captain, but there is something different about her demeanor.
Her demeanor? Jack, I'm sure whatever the case, Professor Gurdy is completely fine. She's always been straight as an arrow. Yes, Professor.
Captain, I need to return to the island.
I take that back, Jack. You're correct. Gurdy's not here at the present time.
What was that, Calico?
Huh? I'm sorry, I thought I hit the mute button. Don't you look like a million... don't you look like the fall section of a Pier 1 catalog? I mean, IKEA.
I don't know what any of that means, but I need to return to the island.
Why in the name of Brendan Fraser do you need to do that?
This is not negotiable, Calico. Make it happen.
Hello? Hello? Professor? Was I just ghosted? Again?
I think you were dismissed.
Jack, I'll be back.
Captain, this is what I was trying to tell you. Something happened to her on the island, and you of all people know that if you don't know enough about the island of dead and buried treasures, that it's a danger to anyone.
Look, Jack, I'm sure everything is fine.
Yes, because that's the way it always goes around here.
Yes, but...
OMG, Drake, isn't it obvious? If I were captain, I would be a little more concerned. I mean, anything you can do, I can do better.
You can do anything better than me? No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't.
Look, she disappeared into the catacombs and was down in the vault for some time.
You let her go into the caverns alone? That's why I sent you with her, Jack.
Apologies, sir.
Anything could have happened down there, Jack. And in front of our new sponsors, too.
Because she's acting like a lunatic. The kind of lunatic that other lunatics look at and go, hey, you're acting like a lunatic.
I see. What else?
Well, we were separated when she went down into the catacombs. You know, before she went all, Zsa Zsa Gabor.
What's a Zsa Zsa Gabor?
You know, from her clothing. All shiny and gold and loud. All, Liberace-like.
Isn't that a type of rake?
Like Lady Gaga.
Liberace, Lady Gag. Are you just making up words now?
Never mind.
Look, Jack, I have real problems here while you talk about baby names. So, while we check in on Gurdy and see what the devil has her dressing like... Mr. T.
Oh boy.
You get to these words from our sponsors. In fact, why don't you visit the professor personally, Jack, down in her cabin and let me know what you discover.
Right.
In the meantime, boils and ghouls, you watch these words from our sponsors while I grab me metal detector. I suddenly feel like we're gonna need it. We'll be right back. It's that time, me hearties. It's time to welcome aboard new crew members to the Dead and Buried Treasures fan club. And by doing so, here is your bounty for this month, if ye can decode this show's secret message. So get ready to pause those DVRs, mateys, and honor the code. Good luck, mateys, and to those of you out there who are not yet members of me crew just yet, what the devil are you waiting for? Contact Phoenix Comics and Toys online and be a part of all the fun. You too can walk away with horrific prizes and booty. And who doesn't like booty?
Captain!
Oh, yeah. Taking part in all the fun and games. Yes. I certainly don't want another meeting with the network about being PC, so yes, best of luck to you, me hearties, and remember to honor the code.
You too can take part in all the fun and win prizes from Dead and Buried Treasures. Just become members of the fan club. By becoming a member of Captain Drake's crew, you receive an autographed 8x10 picture of the Captain and Jack, welcome letter, a crew doubloon keychain, quarterly newsletter published 4 times a year, discounts at conventions, on Redbubble merchandise, and of course the decoder statue of Captain Drake that helps you decode the secret messages that the Captain sends out each show, where you can win prizes exclusively exclusive to those who are the first to solve the secret pirate codes. So contact Phoenix Comics and Toys and begin the fun today.
And remember to honor the code.
Arr, we asked, and you responded.
Hey, I was just calling in because I wanted to say I like what you guys have got going on there. I really enjoy watching it because I used to watch shows like this back when I was a kid, and watching it brings back a little bit of nostalgia from before. And I just wish there was more shows like this on the air now, because watching it brings back all those memories of before, and it's just really nice to see all that.
Why, hello, Dead and Buried Treasures. I just wanted to call and leave a message that I was very impressed by your show. It's very well done, and it might be one of the best locally produced programs I've ever seen. It reminded me of the old Chiller Theater in the 80s with Chilly Billy, and I absolutely love your show. I tell everybody about it. I even had my friends over, some kids, and my grandchildren over a couple of Fridays back when it was on, and we all gathered around and made popcorn like the old days, and had some fun watching some television as a family. So I thought it was very well done, and Captain Drake is very funny, and the parrot is hilarious. Well written, well crafted, very good show. Keep it up, Dead and Buried Treasures.
Hey, man, I think your show's kind of groovy, and I just love it. Groovy, man, groovy. Hey, keep up the good work, guys. Okay, talk to you later.
There are no further messages.
Operators are standing by. Call now.
Professor Gurdy.
Now, why wouldn't she answer?
I don't know, Mr. Bones, and I didn't need an armed detail to escort me down here to check on things. I sent Jack down here to report on what he discovered with her before the break, but he never reported back again. Professor! Jack!
Weird, right?
Professor!
Hello? Hello, Professor Gurdy!
What the devil? What is all this stuff?
Captain, a lot of this are props from the island.
Props?
Yes, Captain, some of this is from the Brendan Fraser movie, The Mummy. This is from the Ten Commandments. You know, the one with Charlton Heston.
I'm aware. Some of this was also in the keel.
Hello, Professor Gurdy!
Fact.
What is that, sir?
Here's the movie for tonight. The Ghoul.
Oh. Oh.
A clue? I don't know. Just a story about an Egyptologist resurrected from the dead. Don't touch anything. I don't know what kind of witchcraft or sorcery is going on here, but it's not like the Professor or Jack to not respond. And I don't like any of this. And I don't think all this Egyptian artifacts are Gurdy's idea of home decor.
What is that, sir?
It says it's the Book of the Dead. In fact, she has it bookmarked. Listen to this. The Egyptian goddess Nefertiti demanded a sacrifice. Not just of one individual, but out of an entire company of her followers. So she drowned them.
Oh.
In their own blood.
Oh.
Yuck. Others she drowned in the Nile.
The Nile?
Aye, I sailed it once. It's a river in Egypt, still home to the Great Pyramids and Sphinx of Giza near Cairo. Listen to this. Other followers she sacrificed in the Nile by casting them offshore and letting them drown in small boats. First, damaging the boats as to make them sink, killing everyone on board to prove their loyalty to the Queen.
Wow.
I don't understand. Couldn't they just shake on it, or maybe a fist bump? I mean, how is that even useful when you drown your entire crew to prove your loyalty unless she planned on resurrecting them somehow?
Like a haunted crew?
I don't know, Mr. Bones.
Oh my. Captain, you don't think she would actually sink us? I mean, where do you suppose she is?
The question is, Mr. Bones, why is she acting like this? And what happened to her? And where is Jack?
Yes, Captain.
Security detail to Professor Gurdy's quarters.
Yes, Captain.
Attention! This is the captain. Professor Gurdy is to be apprehended on ship and on sight. She's extremely dangerous.
Dangerous?
I would think so if she intends on sinking the haunt.
Can't argue that.
Bridge.
Yes, Captain.
Bridge, this is the captain. Professor Gurdy is not to leave the ship under any circumstances.
It's a bit late for that, Captain. She left the ship in one of the jolly boats about 20 minutes ago. Per your approval.
My approval?
Now where do you suppose she would hope to go in a lifeboat? She couldn't get far.
It's the 21st century, Mr. Bones. We had the jolly boats and dinghies equipped with motors and radar, but I think I know where she would head. The Isle of Dead and Buried Treasures.
But Captain, only you know the location.
And Jack.
Oh. Are you saying she kidnapped Jack too?
I'm saying that ever since we had a run-in with Captain Walter Time and he let it be known that he's been searching for the island, anything is possible. And all of this began when Gurdy returned from the island. Bridge, set a course for the Island of Dead and Buried Treasures. I'll pipe the exact coordinates in a few minutes.
Aye, Captain.
I spoke with her about 10 minutes ago, Mr. Bones, so she has a small head start. And we'll need to study up on some of this Egyptian background she has. And this movie. Let's gather some material together. As for you, me hearties, you can get back to the movie and see if you can uncover anything abnormal about Egyptology. We'll reconvene here in about 20 minutes. Good luck. Mr. Bones, let's start with this Book of the Dead.
Can you direct me to Blandford Street, please?
Follow the tram lines close on a mile and then turn right at the church.
I'm obliged to you.
Oh, hello, Caney. Oh, it's good to get out of that fog.
My dear, a most exciting thing has happened.
Oh, don't let it happen again.
No, not that. That's a chestnut. It's this. It looks like a solicitor's letter. Just been delivered by hand.
Oh, dear. What haven't we paid? I wonder if I'm going to get a shock or not. Oh, Caney, that is a silly game. After all we've said about Uncle Henry, what do you think he's done?
Something nice at last?
He's dead.
My dear, I'm sorry.
And his solicitor wants to see me.
My dear, I'm glad. He was awfully rich, wasn't he? He may have left you a fortune.
If he has, I'll buy you a private cinema. I say, when did this letter come?
A few minutes ago. Why?
He asked me to telephone him if I could see him here at 6.
You don't want to miss the chance of a fortune for the sake of tuppence. You better run out and do it now.
You're right.
Miss Harlan.
Yes?
What's happened?
Somebody attacked me and slashed my bag.
Why, good Lord, it's Betty Harlan.
Rafe Morland.
You would go and get yourself into some kind of mix-up.
You would arrive when it's all over.
Thank you.
Well, I'm going home.
Wait a minute. I was on my way to see you, strictly on business.
You wouldn't be allowed in for any other reason.
That's good.
Taxi. Cunningham Garage, as quickly as possible.
Him. Dear Mr. Broughton, we're delighted to see you.
No, it isn't Mr. Broughton. It's my cousin, Rafe Morland.
Dear Mr. Morland, we're delighted to see you.
Wrong again. We don't like him very much.
Oh, don't we? I didn't realize.
Well, our two families are not on speaking terms.
Oh, dear.
As far as I can make out, it was started by my late uncle as a Christmas joke.
Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
But now he's dead, the trouble's all over.
I'm not sure. It hasn't just begun.
Where's Mr. Broughton?
Oh, he won't come because I didn't telephone. I nearly got throttled instead.
Betty!
There was a man with a limp. He pushed a note into my hand. I just put it in my bag when somebody snatched the whole affair.
What was in it?
There's something of value at Owl's Vale. Others are after it, so come.
And Broughton was doing everything he knew to keep me away from there. There's a fox in the cover somewhere. Goodbye.
Oh, why goodbye?
I'm going down there right away. I'll let you know what happens.
You're wrong. I'll let myself know. If you go, I go too.
You can't do that. Alone in a house with a man you're not even on speaking terms with?
Oh, don't be so absurd. It's not as if I even liked him.
Oh, if another woman was going, perhaps.
I suppose that means you want to come too.
Well, obviously, it's my duty.
And suppose I object?
I'm not so broke I can't hire a car.
Oh, all right, you win, but for goodness sake, hurry. Girls must get in this as best you can. There you are.
You first.
No, you. Hurry up. Oh, this is an unspeakable car.
There's no room for my legs.
All right, come on. It looks as if I'll have to walk.
You might do worse. There's a grand moon. It's full.
I'll see if there's a name on this gate. No, there's nothing to show. This is the place.
But there aren't any other places, and I'm frozen.
Well, it's no use going to the wrong place.
Wait a minute, here's someone on a bike. Hi there, Cocky. Wait a minute. Oh, hello. I'm awfully sorry. I didn't see you were a parson.
Oh, that's all right. Any trouble?
Oh, no, no. We just want to get to Owlsvale House.
Well, this is it. As a matter of fact, I'm calling there myself.
But did you know my uncle, Professor Morland?
Oh, slightly. Perhaps I ought to introduce myself. My name's Hartley, Nigel Hartley. I'm down at Raveley. The vicar's ill.
How do you do? I'm Rafe Morland. This is Miss Harlem. We're the heirs of the old...
Couldn't we have the rest of the introduction indoors?
Yes, yes, of course. You must be cold. Right, straight down this drive. You go along, I'll follow.
All right.
Here we are. Car'll be all right here. I'll show you the way.
What a horrible house. I wish I was back home in bed.
I can hear someone coming.
Ah.
Well, don't stand about. Come inside. We'll go into the library. I may be old-fashioned, but I feel awkward when I'm not introduced to people.
I'm sorry, I forgot you didn't know your clients by sight. This is Miss Harlem.
How do you do? I was expecting a telephone message from you.
Oh, I was on my way to call you up when the most extraordinary thing happened.
And this is Miss Rainey.
How do you do?
You're a surprise, Broughton.
I have a great deal of business to clear up down here.
This house has needed a woman for about 25 years. Now I've blinded myself.
You haven't wasted much time in getting here, Mr. Morland.
No, just a little too much, perhaps.
Whatever do you mean? Really, you're the rudest man alive.
Oh, pretty pussy. How horrible. It's stuffed.
I dare say you know your own business best, but why you should want to bring a parson...
A pure accident. We met at the gates.
So naturally you brought him in.
Broughton, I can stand a certain amount, but no more.
Oh, come, don't let's make a battle of it.
No,
I shall be among the trees, watching.
You may say I have no right to express this opinion, but to my mind it's a scandalous and disgraceful burial which may have disastrous consequences.
It'd be very disastrous if he came back, wouldn't it?
I quite see Mr. Hartley's point.
Yes, you make friends quickly, don't you?
And enemies quicker.
Need we have these childish squabbles? We all know the dead men don't come back.
I wish I was back home in bed.
Hadn't somebody better answer that?
Certainly. It's your house.
Very well.
I'm sorry to disturb you, but I was an intimate friend of Professor Mullen.
Well, you'd better come in. We seem to be giving a party.
Oh. Well, thank you. My name is Aga Ben Dragore.
An Egyptian?
An Arab.
I don't remember having heard your name.
I did not flatter myself that you would. But I knew Professor Mullen some years ago in Egypt. I heard of his death and of his burial in my own faith. And I hoped, as I am leaving England tomorrow, that I might be allowed to visit his tomb.
I must protest against anything of the sort.
Why shouldn't the poor man look at his friend's tomb?
I don't mind him going.
I can't believe that you'd willingly encourage paganism.
The Egyptians were not pagan, sir. As no doubt you know, Miss...
Caney, I think you're all being very unkind to Mr. Dragore.
I don't think you people realize quite how far Moreland's queer ideas took him. He even believed that after his death at a certain hour, the image of Anubis would come to life in his tomb and receive his soul. It's horrible.
Well, I can't see that it matters. After all, if that sort of mumbo-jumbo gave him any comfort,
It matters a great deal.
If my suggestion is likely to hurt anyone's feelings, please forget it.
Oh, I think that's very sweet of you, Mr. Dragore.
Oh, your sympathy is more than charming.
Well, what about a cup of coffee after your cold drive? I dare say we should find some in the kitchen.
May I offer my services as pantryman?
Quite sweet of you. Come, Mr. Dragore.
For sheer speed. She'll not let him out of her sight for a moment now.
Perhaps that's just as well.
Come along, Betty. How about making a fire in the library?
Yes.
I'm sorry there should be this sort of atmosphere. After all, we're only ships that pass in the night.
You want a drink or will you pass now?
Oh, well, thank you very much.
There you are.
Well, if you build it that way, there won't be any draft.
Well, it'll be the only place in this house where there isn't one, then.
Oh, don't you think you carry those snappy retorts a trifle too far? Since we met, I can't remember you saying a kind word to anyone.
Perhaps you're right. I'm sorry.
Six cups. That's just 4 too many. Eh?
Tell me about Egypt. Have you ever seen a sheik?
I am one.
What? Oh, thank you. Then how should I address you? Oh, I'm cutting sandwiches for a sheik. I don't feel quite well.
Oh, don't be alarmed. We're not quite as uncivilized as people think.
Oh, don't say that. Do you ride a white stallion?
Sometimes.
Down the path of the moon, the noble animal plunging and frothing up the nostrils till it founders at your feet, faithful unto death?
Well, not very often. You see, it's rather too expensive.
Well, I know it's not your fault. We were taught to hate one another, but...
Good Lord, you don't think I hate you, do you?
Well, I can't somehow feel I'm your dearest friend.
You never did have a great deal of sense, did you?
Oh, that's nice. Rafe, I have a woman's intuition that you and I are up against things.
Yes, I'm pretty sure we are.
Well, then, let's cut the quarreling.
Shoulder to shoulder, eh? All right. Partners.
Partners.
Ah.
Oh, what a wonderful night. It's a full moon.
Scared of a dead man in his tomb? Shame on yourself. Are you a child that your knee should rattle at the talk of a madman? Look your enemy in the face. It's the fear of the big door has got you, and will hold you fast till you stare it down. Do dead men walk? I'm no thinking a dead man will cross my path tonight.
Welcome back, mateys. We're still trying to figure out what it is that Gurdy is planning. It's apparent that something happened on the island and that something might have possessed her into kidnapping Jack.
Captain, we've read over several of these books. Maybe it's best to consult the best.
The best, Mr. Jones?
Yes, our sponsor for tonight's show.
Ah, yes. The Carnegie Science Center and their Mummies of the World exhibit. Tonight's sponsor. Excellent idea, Mr. Bones. In fact, Gurdy was looking at the video earlier on her laptop. Let's show the mateys at home what we can learn. On screen.
Mummies. Human remains preserved for hundreds or even thousands of years. People around the globe have been enthralled with the mummies of Egypt, but mummies come from all over the world. This is the story of a journey through some of the most fascinating but least known mummy collections in existence. Mummies from Europe, Africa, the South Pacific, and South America.
We have human and animal mummies here from 4 continents. We have wrapped Egyptian mummies. We have a 17th century baron who is wearing brand new boots that were put on him at the time of his death. We have 3 mummies that are from the same family. So we have the father and the mother and a child. So we have everything. Somebody will find something to love somewhere. This exhibition really wouldn't have happened without the science that we use to study the mummies. So we're using a lot of medical imaging technology. In our field, that's computer tomography scanning, so that we can see the mummy both inside and out without doing any destructive analyses. No unwrapping is necessary. Not only are we able to study the mummy completely, but we have a complete, permanent, 3-dimensional archive of each single mummy. These are real mummies, real science, real people. We have real human beings whose hearts may no longer be beating, but they're still real people. We use real science to study them and tell their real stories.
Very interesting video, Mr. Bones. But it is recommended to contact the Science Center first to ensure that it is open. Hopefully our problem with Gurdy will not go on that long.
I agree, sir, but I didn't see anything that would lead to her intentions in that video tour. But to kidnap Jack?
Perhaps she's planning something. Or a sacrifice, or... resurrecting something. Like in tonight's film. Bridge, this is the captain. What's our ETA at the island?
About 5 minutes, sir.
Mr. Bones, I think a thorough examination of this movie is in order. In the meantime, I will go ashore and see if I can reason with her. Well, well, well. Come in, Mr. Bones.
Yes, Captain!
She's been here. I found the abandoned jolly boat on the shore. And here at the entrance to the caverns, the torches are all lit.
I see. Is Jack with her?
Undetermined. However...
However what, Captain?
Stand by, Mr. Bones. Switching to mobile. Can you hear me, Mr. Bones?
Yes, Captain!
You'll never believe what I'm looking at here.
Captain, no, I probably won't, knowing you and your track record.
It's like I'm on the set of The Mummy. I'm looking head on at a life-size set of the Sphinx, right here on the island. Which is impossible, since it's located in Egypt.
Wow. Well, the island is enchanted, Captain.
Aye. And you know... And you know what else? This is an incredible invention. Binoculars. It's like having 2 telescopes.
I know! What's even more amazing is both of your eyes can... I mean, your distance. I mean, you can judge... I mean, you can judge depth, but more accurately with... Well, you know, but... both of your eyes. If you had 2 of them. If you had 2.
What I meant to say, Mr. Bones, was Gurdy must have taken my spyglass when she left the island in the jolly boat. I found these in her cabin, and they work tremendously. But they certainly come in handy on a haunted island.
A movie-themed haunted island, Captain. I mean, it's like we discovered last year. The island created a visual representation of Wayne Manor, and the Batcave, and Batman.
Aye. I remember, Mr. Bones, not to mention it created a 1-year anniversary show when Walter Time made me believe I was at an award show of some type just a few short months ago. But he let it slip that he was the first of a long list of bounty hunters looking for me, and the swashbuckler's haunt, and the island. I'm starting to understand why. If the island is powerful and capable of creating illusions this strong, and tangible ones to boot, it can do anything. That award show was so real.
Not to mention the illusion of this show winning anything is amazing.
Thank you, Mr. Bones.
You're welcome, Captain.
There seems to be some type of entrance to the tomb at the base of the Sphinx. Not a big fan of going in there.
Captain?
Well, do you remember those bug things from The Mummy?
The scarab beetles?
Sure. Well,
Captain, are you afraid?
Certainly not.
Then what is it?
I just don't like bugs.
Bugs?
Bugs. I don't like them.
Captain, if I recall, you were cutting away at zombies just a month or 2 ago.
Hey, look, even Indiana Jones had a thing about snakes. Cut me a break here.
Captain, those beetles were in a movie, not the real world.
Right. 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 A movie.
Yes.
Right, a movie. They aren't real.
Right. Probably.
Probably?
Well, I mean, it is an enchanted island. I mean, all the other movie props and things here come alive here from the movies.
Good luck, Jack, and we'll get a new professor.
Captain!
Fine. But I'm only doing this because I'm afraid she's gonna sink me ship. I'm moving in.
Ahoy once again, ye scallywags. It is I, Hank, from the Swashbucklers Haunt. It's time to reveal the answer to last month's trivia question, sponsored by Midas in Washington. Here was that question. As a fellow pirate and a member of Drake's crew, that seemed pretty straightforward to me. Aye, but just in case, here was the answer to that less than perplexing question. Our winner was notified by email, of course, where they won a free oil change at Midas in Washington. Jealous? Can't say I blamed you. If that's the case, make sure to tune in later this evening where you can save yourself a ton of treasure and get a free oil change yourself if you can act quicker than the Kraken and get this month's question correct. And keep watching Dead and Buried Treasures and her sister shows, our pre-show Walk the Plank and after show The Pirate's Booty. Stay the course, me fiends, and abide by the code.
Get your Dead and Buried Treasures merchandise at redbubble.com with the search words Dead and Buried Treasures. T-shirts, travel mugs, hoodies, blankets, phone cases, and much, much more. You too can even take a shower with Captain Calico Drake with a shower curtain.
This is ridiculous. How is this even possible?
That's redbubble.com and use the search words Dead and Buried Treasures. So what are you waiting for? You too can be as cool as a pirate.
Yes, of course.
That's redbubble.com and search for Dead and Buried Treasures. Redbubble.com.
That I thought I would dabble in the art world myself.
That's redbubble.com and search for Dead and Buried Treasures.
They'll no doubt want to pay top dollar for me service.
Yo-ho! Yo-ho!
Don't miss the absolute worst in monster movie mayhem on Dead and Buried Treasures. Weekends at 11. That's Friday and Saturday nights beginning at 11 and going until roughly 2:30 a.m. Right here on your local Fright Network affiliate, our flagship station, BPTV.
It's like dinner and a show, Jack. A night at the opera.
And don't miss our Fright Network pre-show at 10:30, where Fiore from the movie review show Outtakes with Fiore and series creator Eric Sprouse take you for a behind-the-scenes tour with insight into making each episode. Plus, your chance to win even more horrific prizes each week.
Pretty good stuff, don't you think? What do you think?
So wake the kids and phone the neighbors this weekend and every Friday and Saturday night at 11 with our pre-show live at 10:30 on this Fright Network affiliate and our Facebook and YouTube pages.
There are just so many people to thank on such a long list.
If you dare.
Care to play, Jack?
Arr! It's the Pirate's Booty, our after show, seen immediately after Dead and Buried Treasures ends. Captain Calico Drake and series creator Eric Sprouse take your calls for up to an hour, answering questions about the series or whatever's on your mind about the swashbuckler's haunt, the club, convention appearances, and much more. That's our after show, the Pirate's Booty, taking your booty calls till the wee hours of the morning, immediately following Dead and Buried Treasures on most affiliates.
Welcome back, everyone! While the captain is making his way into the mummy's tomb, I thought I would take his advice and see if there are any clues to Gurdy's actions from the movie itself. As that might be the case, that can only mean one thing. That's right! It's time for Movie 101 and the Professor is in! This was the first British horror movie of the sound era. Movies have not always been categorized and taken care of as they are now. For many years, this was regarded as a lost film with no prints or elements known to exist. A nitrate release print was discovered in the Czech National Archives in Prague. But this print was subtitled and an edited version that was in poor condition and contained numerous splices. 50 years later, in the 1980s, a print of the uncut British version was finally discovered at Shepperton Studios in England. While men were cleaning one of the sound stages, they found a locked door blocked by a stacked pile of lumber. Behind the door was a disused and long-forgotten film vault that had not been used since the 1930s. It was like unlocking a time capsule, as the only known clean print in existence was discovered. When Boris Karloff traveled to England to shoot this movie, it was the first time in nearly 25 years that he returned to his home country and reunited with the surviving members of his family. Filmed March 13th to late April of 1933, it was Karloff's first British feature. His last was The Crimson Cult in 1968. And the following movie after this one would be The Mummy. In the 1960s, producer Alex Gordon approached Boris Karloff about remaking this movie, figuring that by then Karloff was in his 70s and could play the part without the heavy age makeup he'd used in the 1933 version. But the projected remake fell through. Even though Boris Karloff is given top billing, his actual screen time is less than that of the supporting cast. In addition, he doesn't have any dialogue after his opening scene. The failure of the original copyright holder to renew the copyright resulted in it falling into the public domain, meaning that virtually anyone could duplicate and sell a VHS or DVD copy of the movie. This more likely was due to the fact that all copies disappeared for almost 50 years. Therefore, many of the versions of this movie that one would see on the market were either severely and usually badly cut, or in extremely poor quality, having been duped from second or even third generation or more copies of the movie. This is the first time a clean print has been seen in quite some time. Boris Karloff may be best known for the character and iconic role of Frankenstein. In regards to Boris Karloff himself, he was married 6 times. Karloff has appeared twice on the U.S. postage stamp, believe it or not, both times in 1997, celebrating famous movie monsters. He is shown on one stamp as the title character of The Mummy in 1932, and on the other as Frankenstein from 1931. He also appeared for a third time on a U.S. postage stamp in 2003 for Frankenstein. This man gets around on the U.S. government, doesn't he? Postage stamps? 3 of them! Karloff was rejected by the British Army in World War I because of a heart murmur. Karloff never legally changed his name to Boris Karloff. He always signed contracts and documents as, quote, William Henry Pratt, aka Boris Karloff, end quote. Karloff was one of the 12 original founders of the Screen Actors Guild and held SAG card number 9. He was awarded 2 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for motion pictures, first at 1737 Vine Street, and for television at 6664 Hollywood Boulevard in Hollywood, California. And that's the class for today! Yes, Captain, have you found the Professor?
I've done more than that, Mr. Bones. I found them both. And I don't think it was her intention to sink the ship. From what I've pieced together here, Jack was not kidnapped.
Well, that's good.
No, that's bad. I think she intends to sacrifice him using bird's blood to resurrect an ancient king. When we were in Gurdy's cabin, I took a look at that Book of the Dead, and according to the book, the bird's blood is symbolic to the power of flight, and to the ancient gods who will restore life to the ancient king. But, Gurdy isn't here right now, and Jack is tied to an altar.
Well, what's the plan, Captain? Do you need reinforcements? Can you untie Jack?
Way ahead of you, Mr. Bones. We're gonna untie Jack and get everyone back to the ship as quickly as possible. And then we'll reconvene about what to do with Professor Gurdy. Okay, I need to move before she returns. I'll be in touch. Jack, are you alright?
Captain, boy am I glad to see you. Gurdy is crazy.
I never would have guessed.
No, she is. She thinks she's a pharaoh queen or something.
Right. I get it. Let's get you untied first. We went down to Gurdy's cabin, and we found the Book of the Dead. But, we tracked the jolly boat as far as we could, but lost it in part of the ocean. Do you know where she is?
No, she disappeared about 10 minutes ago, just before you arrived. I have no idea where she went, but, boy, am I glad to see you.
Jack, you know what the shepherd said to the sheep?
Captain, wait, I need to warn you.
Let's get the flock out of here, come on.
But Captain, that's what I was trying to tell you. I was just a diversion.
What? Why would you think that?
I was just the bait. She wanted you.
What?
I was a diversion.
So, you really were a diversion. Looks like she was after me the whole time. Jack, get out of here. Run! Moon River!
You are correct, Captain. After all, you are the star of the show, and you are essential to my plan.
Oh boy. Well, it looks like the captain might be napping for a while. One night in Bangkok and the world's your oyster.
The bars are temples, but the pearls ain't free.
Let's get you back to the master of creepiness, Boris Karloff.
I was dreaming.
Now I will show you how we make coffee in the desert, underneath the stars.
You don't make it yourself, do you?
No, of course not. A Circassian slave, lovely as sin, cooks it for us, kneeling. And if it is not to our liking...
I know. She's stripped to the waist and lashed for miles across the Sahara.
where she is finally eaten by locusts, and rightly. Now, take this canister and do exactly as I tell you.
And if I fail?
The Yorkshire moors are just behind us. Now, 6 spoonfuls. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. hands away from... What's the matter with you? Are you mad, eh?
What was the matter with him? Was it drink?
No. Terror. Stark terror.
Oh, then I've caught it.
You stay here. I'll look after him.
If you must look after somebody, why look further?
Eh? Come on then.
Rafe! That limp, I'd swear to it anywhere. That's the man.
Look here, did you give a note to this young
Gather up your things and get out of here. The master, I've seen him. You...
Who screamed?
I did. That's the last time I'll ever try to make coffee in a strange house.
That man with the limp. Who was he?
Lang, your uncle's servant.
Well, he seemed mad to me.
Yes. And probably dangerous. You others had better go into the library. I'll have a word with him.
Yes, come along. Mr. Broughton understands the man.
It would do no harm to warn my man to stand by.
Your man? Is he a sheik too?
No, he's his chauffeur. He's outside now with my car.
You're not leaving us, are you?
My dear lady.
Not a very courageous person, our foreign friend.
You think he's run away? Absurd. I'd like to see you riding your bicycle with a Circassian slave, lovely as sin, across the handlebars.
What on earth are you talking about?
Now listen, good people.
Good people?
Don't you think perhaps we're allowing this thing to get on our nerves? Don't you think perhaps if we took a grip on our self-control...
Now listen, good parson. This is our show, and our nerves are probably just as good as the next man's. So keep that sort of talk for your pulpit.
Ray!
Oh, well, of course, I've no wish to interfere where I'm not wanted.
Then don't. This is not a Sunday school.
After that, I think I can say good night.
As you please. Well, I'm sorry I was offensive. Good night.
Oh, well, the tongue is an unruly member, is it not?
Yes.
Yes.
I was tempted. I was tempted, but I did not fall. I did not fall. The thing's safe. I swear it. When you told me you'd come back from the grave, how could I believe you? I never knew such things could be. The girl! She has it. I swear it. Oh, oh.
What on earth's the matter with you? You look as if you'd seen a ghost.
I have. I saw Morland as plainly as I see you. I'm going to mix myself a drink.
Betty, just a minute.
Well?
I have an idea they're trying to scare us out of this house. There's no use blinding ourselves to the facts. There must be something pretty big at stake.
Something that depends on getting rid of us.
That's how it looks to me.
What are we going to do?
Betty, I'm going down to that tomb and find out
Why,
whether
there's
it's
still-
the only way we've got of finding out what's going on around here.
Well, I don't want to be left here alone. Can I come too?
There's nothing wrong with your nerve. Come on.
I'll put on a pullover and some thicker shoes.
All right. Is this yours?
Yes.
I'll keep an eye on Broughton. Well, I think you've every chance of seeing things if you lower scotch at that pace.
library. I'll come up to you.
Wait. I'll come down. What do you want?
There was somebody in the library.
Who?
I don't know. The door. It's shut. It's shut.
Don't scream.
Oh, that's what I need. The command in your wonderful voice.
Come with me.
I think you've gone far enough with your insinuations.
Yes, and I may go a great deal farther. What is it? What's the matter?
I've seen him.
Now perhaps you'll believe what I told you.
Get me a glass of water quickly, will you?
Thanks. I wasn't hurt, only frightened.
Broughton, see if you can find Miss Caney, will you?
Who else knows you're here, Captain?
You know, be careful with my pistols. You didn't have to take them away, you know. To be fair, everyone on the hunt, I think Mr. Bones, I called him on my cell phone about a half dozen times. Of course, half of those I was screaming at him, and 3 of them I was crying, 4 of them I was telling him my location.
That's more than a dozen.
Yes, it is. Although, to be fair, there was one when one of the ones where I was crying, I think it was a butt dial. Maybe. I think it was, anyway. Well, I can never tell the difference when my phone rings and when a text is sent. There's always a ting, but on the other hand, when it rings, there's always a rang, you know, but very lightly in the background. Plus, I don't have a grasp on the whole sexting thing yet. So when I talk to women from the port, it might bring up something awkward. Awkward! But to be sure, I don't miss those calls. I have the old-fashioned phone feature, you know, the old-fashioned ringtone feature where ring, 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 ring real loud for when I get actual phone calls. After all, I don't want to miss them.
Enough.
I just...
Time to die.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't I get to hear your evil master plan?
My what?
Your master plan. You know, your evil plan. Every villain has one. You do have an evil plan, right? That would be embarrassing. You know, a despicable evil plan, probably one so wicked and vile that that would be embarrassing if you did.
Be quiet, or part of my plan will be to take your tongue from your mouth.
Sounds sexy.
It's not.
Davy, she has the captain, and I think she intends on sacrificing him when the movie ends. Why, Jack? What does she plan on doing? Well, she told me her evil plan while I was tied up. She needs the blood of the captain to resurrect her dead king, Or at least who she thinks is her dead king, Imhotep.
Like in the movie, The Mummy. With Brendan Fraser?
Yes, and she thinks she is the king's queen.
Is that even the real truth?
Doesn't matter. It's the island. When it brings the props together from the movie, it all comes to life.
So, you think you're a muckamoon?
Oxuna Moon.
Macaroon?
Oxuna Moon.
Over the moon.
Oxuna Moon.
Looney Tune?
I know you are testing me, Captain. And believe me, I will kill you.
No, just trying to make conversation. Were the shackles really necessary? I mean, they're kind of hurt.
And believe me, I need you dead to resurrect Imhotep, my beloved.
Imhotep? Imhotep? Isn't that a pancake place like Imhotep? Hip-hop?
Imhotep is the ruler of Hamunaptra.
Wouldn't you just be better off ordering the combo platter number 4?
And when he is resurrected, we will rule together.
Look, Sucko Demucko, you are cracked and a half. You're not the ruler of Egypt or Cairo or the desert. You're Professor Eliza Gurdy, and you're a member of me crew on the Swashbuckler's Haunt. I think you're being possessed by the Book of the Dead. It's a movie prop from the 21st century.
Now, whose story sounds more ridiculous, Captain?
Well, when you put it that way, I guess I can't say No, yours.
Look, Davy, do you still have that video on the Carnegie Science Center and their Mummies of the World exhibit queued up?
Yes.
Okay, you need to watch it again and see if there's something we can use here to help Gurdy snap out of it.
What if we can't?
Then we'll resort to something else. Can you watch it?
I'm cueing it now.
We'll get to it and hurry.
I don't know, Jack. I'm not sure there's anything there we can use.
Mummies. Human remains preserved for hundreds or even thousands of years. People around the globe have been enthralled with the mummies of Egypt.
When people come to Mummies of the World, they're going to see real mummies, real people. When you look at these mummies and realize they live lives just like you and I, they were real people, you will connect with them in a way you can't imagine. Mummy studies today use non-invasive ways of research. They tell us about the health conditions of the mummy, what possibly caused their death. Using DNA analysis, we're able to learn more about how they lived, and radiocarbon dating tells us how old they are. As we say, inside every mummy is a story waiting to be told. Mummies of the World tells many stories.
No, Jack, I'm not sure there's anything there we can use. I mean, it's interesting, but what's happening on the island?
Well, I think the captain and Gurdy are having a discussion about things.
International House of Pancakes. IHOP. Imhotep is the ruler of a kingdom.
No. Imhotep has 4 different types of pancake syrup. There's original, extra crispy, original, butter pecan, strawberry, and, is it cheese flavor?
No, Imhotep is the ruler of the sands and the seas.
No, that's IHOP. And I take offense to that. Am I being too much of a millennial?
God, you make me furious. I just want to break shit.
No, it is cheese flavor. No. Is it raspberry?
Jack, I think I have a plan. I was reading through Gertie's books before she kidnapped you and saw one that might be helpful. The Book of the Dead?
Yes, the Book of the Dead. Gertie left it nearby. If I could just get to it.
Well, be careful, Jack. Not knowing what state of mind she's in, she can be, dangerous.
Don't I know it? Mr. Bones, if I don't make it back, you should consider sending reinforcements as soon as possible. And as for you, while I get ready to make my move here, why don't you get to this commercial break to see if there's any spells that they talk about that could help? Maybe we could use one of them. Okay, Mr. Bones, stand by. Here I
go! Tonight's trivia question is brought to you by Pittsburgh Comics, located at Donaldson's Crossroads in McMurray, Pennsylvania.
Hello, fellow pirates. It is I, Hank, from the Swashbuckler's Haunt, with this month's movie trivia question, sponsored by Midas, where you can win a free oil change if you provide me with the first correct answer to tonight's question via email. Speaking of which, here it is now. It'd be a stormy sky ahead, but if you know the answer, make sure to drop us an email at Dead and Buried Treasures. If you're the first matey with the correct answer, you will win a free oil change for your horseless carriage, courtesy of Midas in Washington, where you can trust the Midas touch. Aye, and keep watching Dead and Buried Treasures all night long. One winner per show, me hearties. Stay the course, me fiends, and abide by the code.
Phoenix Comics and Toys has done it again.
My decoder's here!
Yar, me hearties. The Dead and Buried Treasure Fan Club is now accepting new crew.
Wow, Jonathan Benson at age 7.
Each fan club kit contains one decoder statue with a secret compartment containing your doubloon, one autographed photo of the captain and Jack, and one welcoming letter. Yar!
My gold doubloon!
Decode each episode's code for a chance to win prizes. Yar! Set sails to Etsy and Facebook to order yours today. Yar!
Buster, your brother needs to use the bathroom.
I'll be right out, Dad!
Lovers.
Don't you wish you had a time machine? Because if you're enjoying Dead and Buried Treasures now while stuffing your face with that cheese popcorn, you could have gone back to the beginning of the night and enjoyed our pre-show as well. Walk the Plank. Walk the Plank takes you behind the scenes with series creator Eric Sprouse, Captain Calico Drake himself, as he reveals thrifty, low-budget special effects in how the show is made. Behind the scenes. Plus, host Rich Kanji takes your phone calls where you can ask your questions to the captain about upcoming shows as they gear you for the night ahead. So that time machine might have come in handy. Instead, you bought that ice cream maker that's collecting dust in the kitchen because your kids just had to have Dairy Queen and now you're paying the price. But if you remember next time, you too can watch Walk the Plank, the pre-show for Dead and Buried Treasures, and it's on about a half hour before the captain is. Plus, you can win free stuff. Just think about it, which is exactly what you should have done with that ice cream maker.
Don't miss Walk the Plank, the sister show of Dead and Buried Treasures, as it gears you up for the night ahead. 1/2 hour before Dead and Buried Treasures on most local affiliates.
You just can't get enough of Dead and Buried Treasures. You say you want to jam an earring into your lobe because you want to be a pirate so much? And you love ghost stories and other haunted tales to boot and just can't wait for the weekend. Well, Before you cause a lawsuit or need a doctor, check out this bonus during the week. Wicked Wednesday Watch Parties. That's right, fiends. Join us on Facebook every Wednesday night at 9, a much earlier time slot for all the little mateys out there, for rebroadcasts of Dead and Buried Treasures classics, often discussing the show in the chat room with Calico Drake himself, along with other stars of the show. Plus, if you turn into our Facebook page at 8:30, you'll see a classic episode of Walk the Plank to gear you up for the night ahead. That's Wicked Wednesday Watch Parties, premiering at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, each Wednesday night, if you dare. 8:30 p.m. with Walk the Plank. But remember, only the truly courageous will make it to the end.
Now available, the first season of Dead and Buried Treasures on DVD. That's right, all you horror enthusiasts. If old movies are your thing, and even weirder pirates and ghosts, we have the perfect gift for Christmas, birthdays, Father's Day, Mother's Day. Ah, hell, it's perfect for any holiday. Get one for Arbor Day.
Excellent. I love watching those funeral scenes from like the top of a castle where no one can see you, and always sticking me nose in where it's not welcome.
Starring Christopher Lee, Vincent Price, Fay Ray, Dick Miller, Richard Boone, Beautiful Women, Killer Robots, Abbott and Costello, Scrooge, Zombies, featuring the directing works of George Romero, Francis Ford Coppola, Agatha Christie, and a whole lot more. Just $79.95. But the good news is the postage is paid anywhere in the continental United States. So what are you waiting for? Get yours today and prepare yourselves for laughs.
Things like this always turn out great for us.
Just drop us a line on Facebook for details. You won't regret it, but your wallet might. That's pirate talk, you know.
The mysterious, the unexplainable. That is why you are here. And now, for the first time, we are bringing to you the full story of what happened on that fateful day.
You believe there are such things as flying saucers, Colonel?
Flying saucers, Captain, are still a rumor.
We've had contact. Radio.
This is Eros, a space soldier from a planet of your galaxy.
What plan will you follow now?
Plan 9.
Plan 9 deals with the resurrection of the dead. Have you attempted any of this plan as yet?
Yes, Excellency.
It's too bad it must be handled this way.
You see? Your stupid minds! Stupid!
My friend, can your heart stand the shocking facts about grave robbers from outer space?
Divine. Emotep.
Speaking of which, can I get some whipped cream from my flapjacks?
I'm not saying IHOP, you cretin. I'm saying Emotep.
With hollandaise sauce, if possible. That should be good.
You know, there is nothing in the Book of the Dead that says that you have to be alive when we perform this spell. Now, where is that book?
I think I found something, Davy. This spell is designed to bring an individual out of hypnosis.
Is Dirty Gurdy hypnotized?
I don't know, but I have a plan. Uh-oh. Oh, no.
An intruder.
Forget the plan!
Jack, look out for...
There you are.
Gotcha.
Professor Gurdy, this isn't you! You need to wake up!
Well, you're right on that count.
Infidel. Perhaps I should sacrifice you to Imhotep and please him even more.
Does this mean extra syrup?
I've had it with the both of you.
Wait! Anaxamoon!
What?
Actually, Jack, I think that's pronounced Anaxasak.
Enough!
Wait! You're forgetting the Book of the Dead!
What do you know of the Book of the Dead? Where is it?
IHOP, please! He's a bird! What does he know?
I'm not IHOP. I'm not hip-hop or bebop. I'm Imhotep.
Oh, I see. You are.
I mean, I'm not. My king is. You're confusing me.
Sorry.
I'm so glad I'm not there, but having a TV set like this is really entertaining. I should have made some popcorn.
Where's the book, bird, or I will cut out your lying tongue?
All right. I'll tell you.
Do birds actually have tongues?
All right. It's right over there, behind the boulder.
Nice job, Jack.
At last, I can complete my seance.
Really? You need a book to do this. I thought you were a professional.
And my first command when I am queen again alongside my king will be to sink the haunt.
I bet you Zool never would have needed a book. Isn't this embarrassing?
And drain the blood from your body.
Ew.
Ew.
Well, please don't use your book to do it. If I have one last request, don't use yours. You have an older edition. Be respectful of your enemies.
To honor the resurrection of my beloved, I shall.
My book is autographed. Signed by IHOP himself at Steel City Con this past summer.
We called to you that a way was torn, return to master of all evil born.
Captain, why are you encouraging her? Is this a good idea?
Jack, find some cover and get a front row seat as to why I'm the captain. She doesn't care about you. Now go.
You're the captain, Captain.
Hey, Gurdy, can you also get me a drink while you're wasting my time over there? I'm pretty parched.
For thou who sleeps in stone and clay, heed this call, rise up and obey. To trek on through the mortal door, assemble flesh, and walk once more.
I hate the rain.
Captain!
Thunderstorm inside a pyramid. That's a great sign.
Oh, I should have made some popcorn.
Oh, nothing. You had some bad sriracha and had a bender at a costume shop. In Egypt. What do you think happened? We're on the island of dead and buried treasures, and you were possessed by a dead pharaoh queen. Or king. whatever's politically correct nowadays. Another typical weekend for us.
Professor Gurdy?
I'm fine, Jack, but, why am I dressed like your Aunt Judy?
She always liked the slots in Vegas.
Well, if you get struck by lightning.
You covered yourself in Elmer's glue and rolled through an aisle of Party City.
What?
Never mind. Let's get you back to the haunt quickly while you still have a job with me. Jack?
I still have a job?
As far as you know.
Captain! What happened?
That's why we have epilogues, Jack. As for now, let's get everyone back to the conclusion of tonight's movie before anything else happens. Professor, Jack, let's go. I'll explain later.
What was the movie for tonight, Drake? Did I like it? It had that Boris Karloff in it. Wasn't he Dracula or someone famous? Was it Sherlock Holmes? Oh, who are they? Why am I dressed like Zsa Zsa Gabor?
It's wonderful to be with a man who isn't afraid.
I am afraid.
You, who have ridden barebacked over the desert.
If you don't stop chattering, I'm afraid I shall have a knife in my back.
But when I'm with you, I have to talk. It comes like poetry.
Are you prepared to obey me?
In anything.
Then close your eyes and don't speak for 10 seconds.
We all panic sometimes.
I felt his hands on me.
That's why I know it was no ghost.
It was no ghost. Look at the clock. It's nearing the hour. I know where you'll find him now. He's gone back to the tomb, to his heathen gods.
And you and I will follow in there. Wait a minute. What's his doctor's telephone number?
Yaxford 72.
Look! The door's open and there's a light.
I'll go no nearer. I'll go no nearer.
I can see a shadow moving.
I'll go no nearer.
Well, then, go back. What about it, Betty? Do we go on?
Yes, of course.
Thought you'd say that. just a dirty crook.
You'd better get out of my way.
Your hand, eh? So that's how it was done.
I wouldn't come any nearer.
I don't have to.
Look, if you please. Thank you. Come on now.
No, it's nothing.
Come and sit down.
Where's the key?
He threw it away.
When I phoned the doctor, I told him to bring the police. They ought to find us somehow.
Oh, even if they do come, how can they break down that door?
They'll find a way.
I'll make a bandage.
The doctor in charge didn't understand the case. I'm afraid of catalepsy.
Meaning?
Morlant was buried alive.
Oh, Mr. Dragore, what were those shots?
Out of my way.
Where are the others?
Leave me alone!
I rather thought you might be leaving in a hurry with something in your pocket that doesn't belong to you. Hand it over.
You win. That woman! There she is!
Come now.
Oh, you put up your gun, you fool! I tell you, she's got it!
Come on then. Now, Miss Caney, if you please.
I don't think so.
You fool!
If either of you two horrible men so much as move, in it goes.
But you don't know the value of that jewel.
I don't care for the value, it'll go. And if you shoot, I'll go with it. I mean it. Down 30 feet. And about 60 feet of water. And then Australia.
I can't see to tie this. That light seems much lower.
Hartley! Quick, come on, get out, get him out of here. Right.
The door! The door!
Shut!
The flames! They mustn't reach the door!
It's no good. You can't breathe in there.
A cartridge! It's here! If only... I've had enough of this, Miss Caney. Supposing I'm ready to shoot and take the risk.
You'd be taking a bigger risk than you think.
I'll take that gun, thank you.
Now look here.
That'll do. Now, what's the trouble?
This. They're after it. All of them. It belongs.
I'll carry her to the house.
Get back! Back in that corner!
Ah, yes. Has Boris Karloff ever looked any scarier?
Oh yes, the mummy, Frankenstein, terror on the...
Just making polite conversation, Jack. But what a creepy movie tonight's feature was, am I right?
Yes, Captain, but, again, how did we escape Gertie's evil plan when she was possessed by the spirit of an Uxamoon?
Well, Jack, Sucko Mucko, while possessing Gurdy, couldn't see past her own anger, which clouded her resurrection spell.
I don't understand, Captain.
Well, you see, Mr. Bones, the Egyptians are a beautiful people, and often they're thought of as scary, or even angry, and that's a shame. The one thing that the Book of the Dead warns more than any other is the messing of spells when you're not in your right mind, or even when you're angry. You see, they're quite a calm people, a lovely people. The ancient Egyptians used powerful meditation to infuse their bodies with light. In fact, each body part was dedicated to a divinity who directed the flow of life energy. And the one thing you can't do is call upon any resurrection while one is angered.
Oh, is that why you were making all those comments about IHOP? To make Gurdy angry?
Sure.
That was genius, Captain.
Aye. They need to go through a deep relaxation. Then, to begin a spell, you even begin naming the body parts that you dedicate to the divine. If there is even the slightest bit of anger in you, it falls apart and instead resurrects the one who the possession took over.
Professor Gurdy!
Professor Gurdy.
Aye. So in a way, a resurrection did take place, but because the props that the island provided to encourage the possession in the first place weren't even real, it resurrected Gurdy instead of IHOP.
Emotep. Just kidding. Although I will say, Captain, I've really been studying up on these Egyptians. What an amazing culture.
And they still didn't get the order right.
Excuse me?
Nothing, Professor, but it is nice to see you up and about and not spiriting Nefertiti.
Oh, that bitch is gone.
Professor
Professor? Oh, yeah. There's only enough room in here for one woman, and that's me.
I'll say, one of you is enough. And parts of you are overfilled as it is.
I'm amazed, Captain, that you knew anything about the Egyptian culture, though.
Well, believe me, Gurdy, I've dated my fair share of wacko women. And one of them, no, 7 of them were Egyptian sisters. Lots of hair pulling and psycho spells. Not my first rodeo in dealing with the Book of the Dead. You see, before I entered the tomb, I made a quick visit to the movie Tree of Life and removed one of its ornaments. You see, I knew I might be going into battle with the unknown. After all, it is the island. And after doing a little research in her cabin, I thought Gurdy might be at the center of it. So, knowing I couldn't use me guns on her, I thought of something a little different. The mummy. I used it as my talisman, and while knowing the results of what would happen to the professor if she were angry and using the Egyptian resurrection spell, I did some chanting of my own when she did, just for luck.
Wow. Well, that's why you're the captain, Captain.
Well, that was real awesome, Captain. What's the movie for next time?
Well, Jack, next time we revisit the worst movie ever.
Ever what?
Ever what, Captain? Ever made?
No, just ever. The worst movie ever. As we present our mateys out there with Plan 9 from outer space. It's got zombies, aliens, spaceships, and just plain bad special effects. And acting. And sets. And acting. That's next time on Dead and Buried Treasures.
Course setting, Captain?
Somewhere inland, I think, Mr. Bones, provided there's an IHOP nearby. I have a sudden inkling for waffles.
Aye, aye, Captain!
That's the perks of being the captain, I guess. Right, sir?
That it is, Jack. And after all, it's a pirate's life for me.
Captain?
Yes, Jack.
Did you happen to return that mummy ornament back to the movie Tree of Life when we were on the island?
Turn us around, Mr. Bones.
I'm just saying, Captain, you never know about those mummy movies.
He has a point, Captain. Remember when we first met the siren and it all hit the fan because he removed the HAL 9000 movie ornament from the Christmas tree? I don't think you would...
Just get us back to the island, you dimwit.
It's not a Christmas tree, Mr. Bones. It's a white pine fir.
Right, in the middle of an island.
I feel like I have a vein in my forehead that's gonna pop.
In the middle of nowhere. In the middle of the ocean.
And we'll see you next time, me mateys, on the only show where it's Halloween all year long.
I hate my life.
It's the Pirate's Booty, our after show, seen immediately after Dead and Buried Treasures ends. Captain Calico Drake and series creator Eric Sprouse takes your calls for up to an hour, answering questions about the series or whatever's on your mind about the Swashbuckler's Haunt, the club, convention appearances, and much more. That's our after show, the Pirate's Booty, taking your booty calls till the wee hours of the morning, immediately following Dead and Buried Treasures on most affiliates.
Smile and look at the camera.
I smiled.
Yeah.
Sorry, Hub.
Crap.
Is that good?
That was really good. Yeah, that was good.
I was being irritated.
And while you're picking yourself up off the floor from that one, mateys, let me introduce you to another great bit of casting.
Dead and Buried Treasures is your weekend haunt. That's Friday and Saturday nights beginning at 11 with a new show the first Friday of the month, right here on this Fright Network affiliate.
Well, you certainly had that one loaded in a chamber.
And don't miss our Fright Network pre-show at 10:30, where Fiore from the movie review show Outtakes with Fiore and series creator Eric Sprouse take you for a behind-the-scenes tour with insight into making each episode.
Because I probably look significantly different than Captain Calico Drake I do.
Plus, your chance to win even more horrific prizes each week.
I should be hearing from the FCC any minute now.
So don't forget to call and leave your feedback on the show.
Like this one?
And ask questions where your Q&A will be read on the air.
Like this one?
We asked, and you responded.
Hey guys, I was just calling to tell you that I'm a really big fan of your show. Me and my friends watch it every Saturday night, and we are absolutely in love with all the monster movies that you talk about, and especially that they're from like the 50s, 60s, you know, the older movies. That's what we like about the show so much. We especially like your parrot Jack. He's always making us laugh. And it's just a very enjoyable show that we like to watch every Saturday. So I was just calling to give you my feedback, and I hope you continue to make more great shows. Thank you.
Hi, I just thought I'd call and tell you I am enjoying your monster movies. They're great. And also, I love Drake. Hope to see more of you. Bye.
Hey, this is Saul Kummel from Pittsburgh. I just want to tell you guys, I really love the Dead and Buried Treasures show. I love all the old monster movies. It really takes me back to when I was a kid, and now I'm able to tell my friends, you know, you guys got to check this show out, and it'll bring back so many memories for you. Let me tell you, too, Calico Drake is hilarious. Although I tell you what, Jack really makes the show. He just busts Calico Drake every chance he gets, and I love it. Keep up the good work, guys. I will be shanghaied into your crew as long as the show is on. Thanks very much.
Hey, man, I think your show's kind of groovy. Bucket of Blood is what it is, man. What it is. Got that beatnik thing to it, and I just love it. Groovy, man, groovy. Hey, keep up the good work, guys. Okay, talk to you later.
There are no further messages.
Operators are standing by. Call now.
Get your Dead and Buried Treasures merchandise at redbubble.com with the search words Dead and Buried Treasures. T-shirts, travel mugs, hoodies, blankets, phone cases, and much, much more. You too can even take a shower with Captain Calico Drake with a shower curtain.
This is ridiculous. How is this even possible?
That's redbubble.com and use the search words Dead and Buried Treasures. So what are you waiting for? You too can be as cool as a pirate.
Yes, of course.
That's redbubble.com and search for Dead and Buried Treasures. Redbubble.com.
That I thought I would dabble in the art world myself.
That's redbubble.com and search for Dead and Buried Treasures.
They'll no doubt want to pay top dollar for me service.
Arr, it's the Pirate's Booty, our after show, seen immediately after Dead and Buried Treasures ends. Captain Calico Drake and series creator Eric Sprouse take your calls for up to an hour, answering questions about the series or whatever's on your mind about the Swashbuckler's Haunt, the club, convention appearances, and much more. That's our after show, the Pirate's Booty, taking your booty calls till the wee hours of the morning, immediately following Dead and Buried Treasures on most affiliates. It's time for another fiendish edition of Ask the Cap.
Hi, Janet.
Hi, this is Janet from Cannonsburg. I was just wondering what it was like to film in the cemetery that they shot Night of the Living Dead in.
Oh, yeah, for our Halloween episode. Humbling. Although I'll tell you a quick story that happened. We went up there to shoot. It was just myself and my producer, Scott Bowman. And we probably went up there in mid-September and shot some of this stuff. While we were at the cemetery, I said, where's the big tombstone where Johnny comes up the bar and says, they're coming to get you, Barbara.
Yeah,
you know, the big line. And we didn't know where it was. And we're looking all around, and all of a sudden another car pulls up probably about 30 yards from us. I'm like, oh God, this is going to be a caretaker saying, get out of here or something, and it's just going to get ugly. And it turns out like 4 guys get out of the car. I'm like, oh man. They get out of the car, they start looking around, and then they walk over to a tombstone and start taking selfies with it.
You're like,
that's it. And I'm like, that's it. I said, these guys must be fans. It's a true story. I'm like, it's like a rock legend cemetery. So we said, are you guys here for this? Yeah, he says, this is the tombstone. And they start taking pictures with it, and I said, well, damn, so will I.
Yeah.
You know, it was really cool because you're actually standing where one of the most famous horror films of all time was shot. And it's a little humbling, too. And you're in a cemetery, so you're like, wow, this is cool, but you also want to do it with respect. And that was the ultimate thing, that I didn't want to like just be doing dumb stuff up there, or you know, we have to be creative. And by the way, all the tombstones that you saw in there, like with the names, those are real names. Yeah. And we didn't know the angle of the show we were going to take until we started taking pictures of the tombstones, because I said, that's like Buffy Summers. That's like Michael Myers. We didn't even do that when it was Myers. So I said, we should make this into some kind of limerick and have that tie into the end of the show. And that's what we ended up doing. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So it was really cool.
Have a question for Captain Drake? You too can ask the Cap. Call our pre-show, Walk the Plank, a half hour before Dead and Buried Treasures, wherever it's seen, courtesy of local affiliates or on our YouTube channel.
Don't miss the absolute worst in monster movie mayhem on Dead and Buried Treasures.
You know, Captain, we should be recording this.
You know, Jack, we should be recording
this weekend and every Friday and Saturday night at 11 with our pre-show live at 10:30 on this Fright Network affiliate and our Facebook and YouTube pages, if you dare.
Is it wrong that I want their autograph?